Don, you had an interview with the White House press secretary 2 nights ago that is still making news this morning. People are still talking about it because, first of all, it was a terrific interview on a wide range of subjects. But you asked about reports that are now coming out. There was a New York Times story. You're hearing it from other Democrats as well, who are asking questions about whether President Biden, these are Democrats asking questions about whether President Biden should be the nominee in 2024. I want to play an exchange.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with it. We just got back from New Mexico. We just got back from California. That is not a question that we should be even asking.
What do you think of her response, Don?
Of course, we should be asking that question. First of all, I'm a journalist. That's my job, is to ask questions. And as the person who represents the administration and the president, it's her job to answer those questions. I would not be doing my job if I didn't ask that. Let's just be honest about this. I didn't question whether, I'm not being ageist in saying that the president of the United States is too old to be president. We can judge that. I think that's an individual thing, right? But I do think that as the president of the United States, we should know the health history, both physically and mentally, of the United States, the president of the United States. We certainly question the former president's capabilities and whether or not he should have the mental capacity, quite frankly, and the physical capacity to be the president of the United States. And we did it a lot. He had COVID. Can he physically be the president of the United States? It has been said even in these hearings that he is unhinged. That he is out of his mind because of what things that he was doing. Now, I'm not comparing the two men, but it is our job as journalists and as Americans to know the physical and mental capacity of the president of the United States. And I want to be very clear about this. I think Joe Biden is a nice man. He's going to be, he's almost 80 years old. I am in my 50s. I have trouble recalling things. I'm not as sharp as I used to be.
Late 50s.
Stop it. We're going to fight about this. Look, but think about this. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. And the job of president of the United States is a really, really tough job. Maybe he is. I'm sure he's up to the job. But it is my job as a journalist to ask. And the reason I asked that question is because there are reports that are coming out. There's a report in the New York Times about what Democrats are saying, that there are whispers. And we know that as journalists. We know that there are whispers. And we interview the president. We watch him in press conferences. We watch him do interviews he was on Jimmy Kimmel the other night. And quite frankly, I had trouble following him. His answers are not succinct. And I understand that he is an issue as a stutterer as a child. I interviewed him several times leading up to when he was running for president, and as president of the United States, I've interviewed him. And he has trouble sometimes connecting, and his answers sometimes don't make sense. And so I want to know, as a journalist, as an American, does this president have the mental and physical stamina to run again as president of the United States, considering the reports that are coming out and considering my eyes and my ears? I can hear him and I can see him every single day. And as someone my mother will be 80 this year, I doubt that she would want to be president of the United States. And she is a sharp woman. And so I think we need to really think about that. Younger people being more involved in the political process. Younger people, of course, can be involved in the political process. But we need to think about, at a certain time in one's life, perhaps they should think about that. And that includes Donald Trump as well, who is not far behind the current president of the United States.
I've also seen you on social media, Don.
Wait, and I think liberals, hold on, this is you putting up the LeBron thing, but liberals need to stop having a double standard when it comes to questions that we can ask Democrats and questions that we can ask Republicans. I reported a number of times, many times, on Donald Trump's fitness for office. And it is okay and expected for journalists to report on the current president's fitness for office, whether that president is a Democrat or a Republican. We have to have the same standards for both. Sorry about that.
No. Look, I just was trying to give you a little promo for this video you have with LeBron James, which is incredibly compelling. Just tell people what it is.
We cannot have a false sense of equivalency about what is happening when it comes to politics in our country. There's one party right now that's not operating in fact. that has been misleading the American people, and that is the Republican Party, sadly, of which I used to be a member of the Republican Party years ago. I'm not a member of any party right now, but we cannot pretend as journalists that it is equal. It is not. Democrats are doing their Democrat thing, and they're being, liberal, and they want all these things. But that's the way normal politics operates, and we can deal with those things. But what the Republican Party is doing now and not standing up for our democracy and being quiet, that is very dangerous. We cannot fight all of these things and make a better world and do what Larry Summers told me last night about getting our economy together if we don't have a functioning democracy. And so we as journalists need to stand up for that and not pretend that it's that we can both sides this. This is not a both sides thing.
If you want to hear a lot more of this, all right, you can watch Don Lemon on Don Lemon tonight at 10 p.m. right here.
Are we going to leave it there?
On CNN. Well, no, we left it there before. We tried to leave it there before, but that didn't work out.
You didn't get off the train.
Don, listen, thank you so much.
I love you guys. You guys are the best. It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you in person.
We'll always
If
have
you only knew.
we'll always have the
I'm
lead,
here.
John.
Only
Don's
knew.
here. No coincidence.
Right, new this morning, President Biden penning a letter to the major oil refinery companies